Okay, YouTube. I know I started a video series a few months ago about the Dr. Blackmon RCBS RockChucker conversion, and what I have here is a set of 44 caliber dies, and I suppose the reason it took me so long to finish the series is because I broke my core swage die. And not only that, I also broke my core seat die. Well, I replaced my core seat die, and I have not replaced my core swage die yet because I have a 9mm lead bullet die for my Walnut Hill press that I've been using to make my cores. All we do when we make a lead core is we make a uniform slug of lead that has a uniform and consistent weight, and I can do that with my lead bullet die. I'm limited because instead of being able to use my 360 lead wire that I now have to use 312 slugs that I've casted for cores for my 9mm, but it works, and I guess I can go ahead and continue to show you the system. So if we start off, obviously we have a external punch which goes into your punch holder that comes with the Blackmon system. You have your core swage die, and you have your internal punch. You'll know your core swage die because if this still had the other half, and I don't know how well it shows up on the video, but you can see these two holes here. It has 3 holes around the periphery, and what you do is you put your slug of lead in there, and it squeezes it down and it uniforms it into a consistent and constant weight. After that, you want to wash your cores, your lead cores. I use MEK. Some people just use an ultrasonic cleaner, others do other things, but I like to use MEK because I want to get them clean. So we get our jackets, and I bought 1,000 of them from Dr. Blackmon. I don't know if he's still got them or not anymore. Pistol jackets are getting really, really hard to come by. And you just set your uniformed lead core into your jacket. So then after that, the next step, we want to go into what is our core seat die, and it accepts the jacket, and of course it has its top external punch. What we'll do is we'll squeeze this lead core down and expand our jacket out, and then we'll run it into our point form die. I have 2 internal punches for my point form die. This punch here will allow me to make just a soft point bullet, and this punch here will allow me to make a hollow point bullet. And I paid a little bit extra to get both punches, but I think it's well worth the money, as I can now make almost any, as long as it's a truncated cone bullet, I can make it. If I wanted to make like a Hornet AXTP, I'd have to get back with Dr. Blackmon and get a new point form punch. But I'm really happy with the truncated cone style of bullet. This is a Spear Gold Dot factory bought bullet, and this is a Hornet is a Nosler 240 grain jacketed hollow point, and this is a 275 grain jacketed hollow point that I made with this set. Here is a 240 grain hollow point that I made. So as you can see, we can make just as good of bullets on our home press as you can buy from the factory, and I think they fly every bit as true. They fly truer. They expand phenomenally, and I think my son is intending to use his Ruger Deerfield carbine to deer hunt this year, and we'll see how they perform on deer. So let's get set up. And since I can't do any coarse waging, and I have plenty of cores made and cleaned, I've already washed them in MEK, we'll take our core seat die, and it's just this simple. As you can see, we have our pin here. We're going to insert it in the hole that we drilled. All we got to do is screw our core seat die into our ram on our RockChucker press that we've converted to the Dr. Blackmon swaging system. Now here's an interesting little twist that comes with the larger bullets. The bullet punches become too large for the hole, basically that's a standard hole into the punch holder. So Corbin and Dr. Blackmon, I guess they all do it, have made their punch holders their punches in two pieces so that they can be put together inside on the punch holder cap. You don't have to get Gorilla, and remember, this is expensive stuff, so you really don't want to get Gorilla because it's awfully expensive to replace, and you know, it's just too much money. And you'll find after you get to doing it that you don't have to get Gorilla. I don't know if it's showing up in the video or not, but as you can see, I still have the standard reloading handle on my RCBS RockChucker that came with it. And so, you know, I've broken my core swage die, I've broken my core seat die. So the lesson learned is you don't have to get Gorilla. You just really don't have to. Okay, so the next step is to get our jackets out. Now, if you can't get your copper jackets like I have, then you can use 40 Smith & Wesson brass. You can do a whole lot of that other stuff. So what you do is you get them out. Now, what I've done is I went and got a Hornady lube case lube pad, and instead of using the Hornady lube or the RCBS lube, I've used swaging lubricant that I've made myself, and I just load it up onto the pad, which I've already saturated it good, and lubricate them that way. So what we want to do is we want to take and lubricate a jacket, insert a cleaned core, put it in our press, and we'll want to swage it down. Now, how I managed to break it here is I was trying. For whatever reason, I got 4295 in my head, which is a lot of them are, but they aren't all 4295. A lot of companies just make 429. Dr. Blackmon just made these dies .429. So I was trying to get to 4292 or 4293, and I should have just been going to like 4285. So I was really laying onto it, and I broke it. Well, we're at 428 right now. So here's where your micrometer comes in handy. You have to mic, as you're seating your cores, you have to mic these things so you know where you're at and how much pressure, because I'm telling you, even with your RockChucker press, you put a lot more pressure on these things than you think you do. And trust me, your mistakes are just way too expensive. And we should have a good happy core now. You can just tell from the pressure that it came. And you can also, I don't know if the video's picking it up, but you can see how much it's kind of squared the seat of the jacket off. You don't want to completely take out that radius, but it is going to flatten it out and make a good flat base. Your base is going to be a whole lot flatter. And let's do a couple more of these now that we've got it set. And if you think you might be getting dry or you're not getting enough, you know, I know there's a big debate going on in a lot of people, and if I was making match bullets, I wouldn't do it. But let's face it, a 44 Magnum is not a match round. So, but it is an awfully good hunting round. So I'm going to put extra lube on here. I'm not going to worry about all that because I just don't want the problem. So we swage it down, and then we extract it. And as if you notice, that bullet comes right out of there, and we've turned our RockChucker reloading press into a bona fide self-ejecting swaging press, and we're 428, about 4285, which is perfect where we want to be. Okay, we've seated our cores. Now let's change over to point form, and it's just this easy. Keep your internal punch inside your die. Screw the core seat die out, and screw the point form die in. That's all there is to it. You know, anybody that wants to do this stuff, it's not terrible. It's not too complicated. I think almost anybody could do it. Not anybody might be able to make the dies or have the machining knowledge to make the setup, but if you can reload, you can swage and make bullets, because there's just not much difference in the operations. And I want to add something else too. You know, there is a savings when it comes to swaging and making your own jacketed bullets, but there's not a whole lot of savings. And yeah, you will eventually pay back your money, but it's going to take you a while. So if you're looking for instant gratification, or if you're the kind of guy that is just in reloading and ammunition crafting to save a buck, then I can tell you, swaging probably is not for you. But then, for that matter, casting's probably not for you either, because you can buy cast bullets, Berries, and several of the other bullet manufacturers. So we got our top punch into our punch holder. We got our punch holder put together. We got our seated cores. Let's lube up our bullet. Be careful going too far. You can always come again on it, but you don't want to get gorilla. See, we haven't gone far enough yet. You want to get down there far enough to get your hollow point made, get your bullet made, but you don't want to go gorilla. You got too much money invested in this stuff to tear it up, and you can tear it up easy. Now, I don't know, other people may not have the problem, but for whatever reason, my top punches, my hollow pointing punches, always wanted to hang on to these bullets, and I went and made me modified me a pair of clamps with some nylon inserts so I could pull the bullet off without marring it. But here we go. We've got maybe just a skosh more, and we have another 240 grain jacketed hollow point bullet made with the Dr. Blackmon RockChucker reloading press. I'm sure it's not as handy as his bullet swaging supply press, but it's a lot cheaper, and if you've got a RockChucker, I think it's worth doing. So as you can see, we made us a nice 240 grain hollow point, jacketed hollow point. And we'll go ahead and make these up too. And once you get set up, it's really easy to keep going. I mean, it's just rock and roll. Put them in there and turn them out. Another thing I like about these pliers that I made up is they're great for installing and taking out your dies too. Should you get one, they won't mar up your gear, but they're really handy because they won't mar up your bullets. Well, there you have it. Swaging bullets on the Larry Blackmon RockChucker conversion combo. Happy loading and happy shooting.